Ladies and gentlemen, if you truly want to change your life, there's one person you must invest in more than anyone else. Yourself. Not your neighbor, not your friend, not your boss. You. Because the moment you decide to work harder on yourself than you do on anything else, that's the day everything begins to change. Too often we spend our time chasing success out there, chasing money, chasing recognition, chasing opportunities, when the real key to success is hidden within. You see, your level of success will never exceed your level of personal growth. If you don't grow, your results don't grow. It's that simple. So how do you work hard on yourself? Let me give you some principles that have changed the lives of thousands. Your mind is like a bank. Every book you read, every podcast you listen to, every seminar you attend is a deposit into your future. The more you learn, the more you earn. Don't settle for average. If you aim for the bare minimum, that's all you'll ever get. Push yourself beyond what's comfortable, and soon enough, what once seemed impossible will become your new normal. Success doesn't come from what you do occasionally. It comes from what you do consistently. Show up even when you don't feel like it. Discipline beats talent when talent refuses to be disciplined. You can't perform at your best if your body is running on fumes. Exercise, eat well, and get enough rest. A sharp mind requires a strong body to carry it. The way you speak to yourself determines your reality. If you constantly tell yourself you're not good enough, you'll never be. But if you affirm your growth, strength, and potential, watch how your world transforms. Life will test you. It's not a matter of if, but when. The question is, will you break or will you bounce back? Strength is built in struggle. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. You become like the people you spend the most time with. If you want to rise higher, get around people who think bigger. Find mentors, seek wisdom, and never settle for small-minded company. Blaming others is easy, but it won't change your situation. The moment you take full responsibility for your life is the moment you take control of your destiny. Too many people wait for the right time. Let me tell you, there is no perfect time. Success loves speed. Take action while the idea is hot and refine it along the way. Your personal development is never done. The best version of you is always ahead. Keep stretching, keep reaching, and never settle, because the moment you stop growing is the moment you start declining. If you truly want to change your life, you must become a student of life itself. Learning isn't something you finish when you leave school. It's a lifelong pursuit. The moment you stop learning, you stop growing. And when you stop growing, everything else in your life stays the same. Or worse, it starts to decline. Growth is not automatic. It must be intentional. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't just talent or luck. It's what they know and how they apply it. The most successful people make learning a daily habit. They read books that challenge their thinking. They listen to those who have walked the path before them. They seek out wisdom instead of waiting for experience to teach them the hard way. Knowledge is like fuel for your success. The more you learn, the more capable you become. Every book you pick up, every new idea you absorb, every skill you develop adds another tool to your toolbox. And the beauty of learning is that once you gain knowledge, no one can take it away from you. You can lose money, you can lose opportunities, but if you've built your mind, you'll always have the ability to create more. The key is to stay curious. Approach life with the mindset of a student, always asking, what can I learn from this? Even in setbacks, there are lessons. Even in failures, there's wisdom. Every experience, good or bad, is a teacher if you're willing to listen. Some people say, I don't have time to read. But let me ask you, how much time do you spend on things that don't move your life forward? Time spent in traffic, time spent watching television, time spent scrolling through distractions. The truth is, if something matters to you, you'll make time for it. And nothing will pay you greater dividends than investing in your own mind. Look around and you'll see that the people who rise to the top are not just those who work the hardest physically, but those who grow the most mentally. They take learning seriously. They don't just wait for opportunities, they prepare for them. Because when the right opportunity comes, it's not the person who is the most talented who succeeds, but the one who is the most prepared. So make it a habit. Read daily, listen to wisdom, take notes, apply what you learn, because the better you become, the better life becomes. And the more you grow, the more doors will open that you never even knew existed. If you want to change your life, you have to change what you expect from yourself. Too many people go through life accepting whatever comes their way, settling for mediocrity, and wondering why they never achieve anything extraordinary. But life doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you're willing to demand of yourself. The standards you set determine the quality of your results. If you expect little, you'll receive little. If you demand excellence, you'll rise to meet it. Think about the great achievers of history. They didn't settle for being average. They didn't wake up each day saying, I hope today's just okay. No, they set a bar so high that it forced them to stretch beyond their limits. They refused to accept excuses from themselves or anyone around them. And because of that, they became people who made an impact. You have to decide what kind of life you're going to live. Will you settle for just getting by, or will you push yourself to reach your full potential? It's not about competition with others. It's about raising your own expectations. The moment you decide that average is no longer good enough, that's the moment you step into a new level of growth. But here's the challenge. High standards come with responsibility. When you commit to excellence, you can't take shortcuts. You can't cut corners and hope to succeed. You must hold yourself accountable even when no one is watching. You must do your best even when it's inconvenient. And you must be willing to demand more from yourself than anyone else ever would. Some people lower their standards to match their circumstances. They say, well, this is just how life is, and they stop trying. But successful people do the opposite. They raise their standards first, and then they grow into them. They say, this is who I must become, and then they take action every single day to live up to that vision. And here's the best part. When you raise your standards, everything around you begins to change. The way you carry yourself shifts. The way people treat you improves. The opportunities that come your way expand, not because the world changed, but because you did. So decide today, what are you willing to accept? What will you no longer tolerate? What level of excellence will you demand from yourself? Because the moment you set a higher standard and commit to it, your life will start moving in a direction you never thought possible. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It's the difference between people who dream and people who achieve. Talent is good, ambition is great, but without discipline, neither will take you far. You can have the best intentions, the biggest goals, and the strongest desires, but if you don't have the discipline to follow through, success will always remain out of reach. Discipline means doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. It's easy to be motivated in the beginning, when a goal is fresh, when the excitement is high, when the vision is clear. Discipline seems effortless. But what happens when the excitement fades? What happens when the work gets tough, when progress feels slow, when no one is watching? That's when discipline separates the few who succeed from the many who give up. Every great achievement is built on a foundation of small, consistent actions repeated over time. It's the daily habits, the routines, the choices made in the quiet moments that determine the outcome. You don't wake up successful one day. You build success brick by brick, day by day, with discipline as your guide. And the best part? The more you practice discipline, the easier it becomes. At first, it's difficult, but over time, it turns into a habit. And once it becomes a habit, it becomes your new standard. People often say, I just don't feel motivated, but motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes like the wind. Discipline, on the other hand, is rock solid. It doesn't wait for the perfect moment, the right mood, or the ideal circumstances. It acts regardless of the conditions. The people who achieve the most aren't the ones who always feel inspired. They're the ones who show up and do the work even when they don't feel like it. And discipline isn't just about working harder, it's about working smarter. It's about making wise decisions consistently, knowing that the little things add up. It's about resisting the distractions, avoiding the excuses, and staying focused on what truly matters. It's about saying no to the things that pull you away from your goals and saying yes to the things that move you forward. Think about the person you want to become, the successful, confident, accomplished version of yourself. That version of you is created through discipline. Not in a single moment, not in one big breakthrough, but in the small, consistent choices made every day. So if you want to change your life, start by mastering your discipline, because once you do, there's nothing you can't achieve. Your body and mind are the only tools you have to navigate this life, and if you don't take care of them, everything else suffers. You can have the best plans, the biggest dreams, and the most incredible opportunities, but if you don't have the energy, the clarity, or the health to execute, none of it will matter. Success is not just about working harder, it's about making sure you have the strength and sharpness to keep going year after year. Your body is the foundation. If you neglect it, everything else eventually crumbles. How can you expect to perform at your best if you're running on junk food, little sleep, and no exercise? It's like trying to drive a high-performance car on cheap fuel. It won't take you far. Energy isn't something you find, it's something you create through your habits. Move your body, eat real food, get enough rest. Small changes in your health lead to massive changes in your results, because when you feel better, you think better, and when you think better, you do better. And let's talk about your mind, because a strong body alone won't get you where you want to go if your mind is weak. Just like you train your muscles, you must train your thinking. Your thoughts shape your reality. And if your mind is filled with doubt, negativity, and fear, that's exactly what will manifest in your life. Guard what you allow into your mind. Be mindful of what you read, what you listen to, and who you spend time with. If you surround yourself with negativity, don't be surprised when negativity fills your life. The greatest achievers don't just work hard, they work smart. And part of working smart is knowing that you are your greatest asset. Taking care of yourself is not a luxury, it's a responsibility. You wouldn't let a valuable machine rust and break down, so why do that to yourself? When you prioritize your health, physically and mentally, you don't just extend your years, you increase the quality of those years. You have more energy, more clarity, and more ability to chase the life you truly want. So take care of yourself, because the stronger you are, the more you can accomplish. The sharper your mind, the better decisions you make, and the more disciplined you are in protecting your energy, the more unstoppable you become. Success is built on a foundation of health. Don't wait until it's too late to realize how important that foundation truly is. The way you speak to yourself shapes the way you live your life. Your inner dialogue, those quiet conversations you have with yourself when no one else is around, determines your confidence, your decisions, and ultimately your destiny. If you allow negativity, doubt, and fear to dominate your thoughts, you will act accordingly. But if you train yourself to think with strength, confidence, and purpose, there's no limit to what you can achieve. Most people don't realize just how powerful their words are. They go through life saying things like, "I'm not good enough," "I'll never figure this out," or "that's just the way I am." And they don't see that every time they repeat those words, they're reinforcing a belief that holds them back. The mind is like fertile soil. It doesn't care what you plant. It will grow whatever you consistently feed it. If you plant seeds of doubt, you'll harvest hesitation. If you plant seeds of confidence, you'll harvest success. The key is awareness. Start paying attention to how you talk to yourself. Would you speak to a friend the way you speak to yourself? If not, it's time to make a change. Because no one is with you more than you. And if the voice inside your head is working against you instead of for you, you'll always feel like you're fighting an uphill battle. Instead of saying, "I can't do this," start saying, "I am capable and I will figure this out." Instead of saying, "This is too hard," say, "This is a challenge and I am growing because of it." Instead of saying, "I'm just not that kind of person," say, "I am becoming the person I need to be." Words have energy. Speak life into yourself. Speak possibility. Speak strength. Because the more you do, the more your mind will believe it and the more your actions will follow. And don't just wait until things go wrong to change your inner dialogue. Start when things are going right. Build the habit of positive self-talk when life is good, so that when challenges come, you already have the mindset to push through. Because challenges will come. Obstacles will arise. But if you've trained yourself to think with confidence and resilience, you'll handle them differently. Your mind can be your greatest ally or your worst enemy, and the choice is yours. Take control of the conversation happening inside your head. Speak power, speak growth, speak success, because the way you talk to yourself today will determine the life you live tomorrow. Life will test you. There will be setbacks, disappointments, and moments when you wonder if it's even worth it. But those who succeed aren't the ones who never fall. They're the ones who get back up every single time. Strength isn't built in comfort, it's built in struggle. The challenges you face aren't there to stop you, they're there to prepare you. The question is, will you let them break you, or will you use them to build you? Resilience is the ability to keep going when others quit. It's developing the mindset that says, no matter what happens, I will find a way. Too many people give up at the first sign of resistance. They hit a wall and decide it wasn't meant to be. But the truth is, the wall wasn't there to stop them. It was there to see how badly they wanted it. If you push through, you'll find that most obstacles are not permanent. They only last as long as you allow them to. Think about the strongest people you know. They weren't born that way. They became strong because life knocked them down and they refused to stay there. Every setback taught them something. Every failure refined them. Every difficult season made them tougher, wiser, and more prepared for what was ahead. If you can adopt that perspective, if you can start seeing challenges as stepping stones instead of roadblocks, you'll develop an unstoppable mindset. But resilience isn't just about enduring hardship. It's about growing through it. Every difficulty you face carries a lesson, but only if you're willing to learn from it. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Ask, what is this teaching me? Maybe it's teaching you patience. Maybe it's teaching you persistence. Maybe it's showing you that you're stronger than you ever thought possible. The sooner you find the lesson, the faster you can move forward. And here's the key. Resilience isn't something you wake up with one day. It's something you build day by day through your habits, your mindset, and your willingness to keep pushing forward. Develop the discipline to control your thoughts. Surround yourself with people who lift you up. Strengthen your body and mind so that when the storms come, you're ready. Because storms will come, that's life. But whether you bend or break, that's your choice. So decide today that no matter what comes your way, you will not be defeated. You will not let challenges define you. You will let them refine you. You will rise above every setback, learn from every failure, and come back stronger every single time. If you surround yourself with people who complain, make excuses, and settle for mediocrity, it won't be long before you start doing the same. But if you align yourself with those who are ambitious, disciplined, and focused, their mindset will rub off on you. You don't rise to your goals, you rise to the standards of the people around you. Successful people are intentional about their relationships. They don't just let anyone into their world. They seek out mentors, friends, and partners who challenge them to grow. They look for those who push them to be better, think bigger, and take action. Because they understand that association is a powerful force. It can either propel you forward or hold you back. And here's the truth. Sometimes you have to make tough decisions about who gets access to you. Some people in your life are comfortable with the old version of you. They don't want to see you grow because it reminds them that they're staying the same. They might discourage you, mock your ambitions, or try to plant doubt in your mind, not out of malice, but because your growth threatens their comfort. You must decide what's more important, your future or their approval. This doesn't mean cutting people off coldly or acting superior. It simply means choosing to invest your time and energy where it aligns with your vision. Spend more time with those who inspire you. Find people who have already achieved what you want and learn from them. Surround yourself with those who make you think, who challenge you to improve, who celebrate your wins and hold you accountable. And if you don't have those people yet, don't worry. Start by becoming that person yourself. Work on your mindset, work on your habits, elevate your thinking, because when you grow, you naturally attract others who are on the same path. And soon enough, you'll find yourself in a circle that not only supports your success, but expects it. So be mindful of your environment. Choose wisely, because who you surround yourself with will determine where you go, how far you rise, and how fast you get there. Taking responsibility means understanding that you are the author of your own life story. Every decision you make, every action you take, and every thought you entertain has the power to shape your future. Instead of waiting for circumstances to change or blaming the world around you for your setbacks, you choose to look in the mirror and say, this is my life, and I have the power to change it. It's not about fault or punishment. It's about embracing the truth that the control over your destiny lies squarely in your hands. When you stop shifting blame and start owning your decisions, you gain the freedom to transform every challenge into a stepping stone towards success. It means accepting that even the mistakes you make are valuable lessons on your journey. Every time you stumble, you learn something essential about what you need to do differently next time. This kind of accountability isn't a burden. It's a powerful tool that fuels growth and progress. It empowers you to adjust your course, refine your strategies, and ultimately to succeed on your own terms. Imagine the difference in your life when you stop looking for external reasons to explain your failures and start seeking the internal power to overcome them. By taking responsibility, you become proactive rather than reactive. You no longer wait for the perfect moment or for someone else to rescue you. Instead, you stand up and take charge, knowing that your destiny is determined by the choices you make today. This mindset transforms obstacles into opportunities and setbacks into setups for a great comeback. When you own everything in your life, the successes, the failures, and even the quiet moments of doubt, you reclaim the power that has always been yours. You understand that nothing happens to you. Everything happens because of you. And with that realization comes a newfound strength, the strength to keep pushing forward, to learn from every experience, and to create the extraordinary life you deserve. Ideas are worthless without action. Plans, dreams, and goals mean nothing if they never leave your mind and turn into reality. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't intelligence, talent, or luck. It's the ability to take action and take it fast. The longer you wait, the more doubt creeps in. The more you analyze, the more excuses you find. Hesitation kills momentum, and momentum is everything. How many times have you seen someone talk about what they want to do, but never actually do it? Maybe you've done it yourself. Waiting for the perfect time, waiting until you feel ready, waiting for circumstances to be just right. But here's the truth. There is no perfect time. The conditions will never be ideal. If you keep waiting, life will pass you by and you'll be stuck in the same place years from now, wondering what could have been. The most successful people don't wait, they move. They don't have all the answers, but they take the first step anyway. They know that clarity comes from action, not from sitting around thinking. Every time you take action, you gain experience, and experience builds confidence. The more you do, the more you learn. The more you learn, the better you become. And the better you become, the bigger your results. But none of that happens if you don't start. Now, taking action doesn't mean being reckless. It doesn't mean jumping without thinking, but it does mean refusing to let fear and overthinking hold you back. Make a decision and move. Adjust as you go, because action is what separates those who achieve from those who only dream. So ask yourself, what have you been putting off? What goal have you been waiting to start? Stop waiting, stop hesitating, decide, move. Take the first step today, no matter how small, because once you start, momentum will carry you forward, and before you know it, you'll be further ahead than you ever imagined. Growth is not something you do once. It's something you commit to for a lifetime. The moment you stop growing, you start declining. The world keeps moving, time keeps ticking, and those who refuse to adapt, learn, and expand eventually get left behind. If you want to reach new heights in life, you must make growth a daily habit, not an occasional event. Too many people achieve a little success and then get comfortable. They reach a goal, celebrate for a moment, and then stop pushing forward. But success is never a final destination, it's a moving target. The skills that got you to where you are today won't necessarily take you to the next level. What you know now is good, but what you continue to learn is what will keep you ahead. The best never stop improving, and the moment you think you've made it, you put yourself at risk of losing everything you've built. Growth happens when you challenge yourself, when you step outside of what's easy and familiar, when you push past your limits and expand your thinking. It happens when you read books, seek mentors, take on new challenges, and constantly ask yourself, what's the next level? How can I get better? Growth is uncomfortable, but that's the price of becoming more than you are today. And here's the secret. It's not just about growing in one area. It's about growing in every area. Grow your mind by learning something new every day. Grow your discipline by keeping your commitments. Grow your relationships by surrounding yourself with people who push you higher. Grow your character by choosing integrity even when no one is watching. Growth is a mindset, a way of living that refuses to settle for mediocrity. Every great achiever understands that the key to long-term success is never-ending improvement. You don't have to be the smartest, the fastest, or the most talented, but if you're willing to keep learning, keep adapting, and keep stretching beyond your comfort zone, there's no limit to how far you can go. The only question is, will you commit to the journey? Because the moment you stop growing, you stop leading, you stop progressing, and you stop winning. Keep growing and everything else will take care of itself.